Okay, welcome to the video on setting up an automatic checkout email to the customer. As with most demos or other information searches, you want to start in the wiki. The instructions are here. The video will also appear here. I'm not going to be referring back and forth to it, but it is there for reference, and it does have everything step by step. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to log into FieldPoint. And the purpose of this is kind of like the equivalent of a checkout phone call in the form of an email address. It gives them some basic information. There's no reason that we're opposed to doing this for customers. Some customers like it because it just keeps them in the loop with what's happening. We can set it up either on ticket creation, on check-in or checkout, or all of the above. First thing we're going to search for is workflow escalations. Okay, click the button that says incident. And sorry, bear with me for a second. It went into one of my other windows here. There we go. And once you're in the incident section, we're going to search for check. Oops. And that's going to bring in the checking and the checkout. The one that I recommend using as an example is CNG checkout. The reason for that is we've done some things to make this one a little bit nicer looking. So if you're going to copy any one of them, this is a good one to start. Okay, take the example one and put it in a different monitor window so that you can start a new session with and refer to that one as an example. We're literally going to copy and paste each field, and then we'll go back and we'll change the ones that we need to. I'm not sure if Nick is on the line. He had one that he wanted to do. If he wants, we can knock out that one right now. If not, we can do an example one. And literally all I'm doing is copying back and forth from the example one. Okay. So there is the copy, and we're going to change this to whatever the company code is that we're using. I'm going to use just a sample one, craft, but it can be any one. Okay, and save. We've set up the if in the if-then statement. The if is a change to the dashboard field that goes from any value to release complete. And the then is going to be that we generate and message. So on the bottom right where it says in the rule action section, click the plus sign. That's going to open up another window. And just like we did a second ago, we can take our example and follow that as a guide and literally just copy each field. So I'm copying from our CNG example and pasting it onto our new one, and then we can make the little change that we need to. Okay, to start, before you send it to the customer, I recommend that you send it to the sales rep, and each sales rep has a workflow recipient setup, which basically means you can receive the automated emails. We set them up as SAL dot and then the initials. I believe we have it for each one of our account managers. We may have to update some of the recent ones, but for now, let's just say I want to send it to Tiffany and Nick. After I test it once, then I can switch this out with the customer. And it looks like we've got folks calling in. Tiffany, can you conference in, Nick?
Sure.
Thanks.
Okay, I've got Nick on.
There we go. Sorry about that, Nick. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Rod was hanging out. Should I conference him in?
Sure thing.
All right. What's Rod's extension? Anybody know offhand?
718.
All right.
There we go. Okay, so all I did was copy and paste from the other one.
All right. Got everybody now.
All right, here we go. Okay, so all we did was copy and paste from an example one. Now, the only thing to look at here before we move on is, depending on what kind of company it is, we might want to swap out the store for like site number or location number or branch number. If it's not a place that identifies their location that stores, you might want to swap it out. Nick, what was your company wanted to create it for?
RealMex.
RealMex. So what kind of a store is that? Or what kind of a company is that?
It's a restaurant or a fast food place.
Okay, so we might want to call that site number or restaurant number or branch number. How do they refer to their locations?
You know, it's Rich's account. I don't know.
I can look it up. Give me just a
Let's
sec.
say branch number. That's pretty safe bet. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Hello from TST. We'd like to let you know that our technician has finished up at.
They actually want they
What?
want notifications when they enter a work order. They don't need the closeouts.
Okay, well, it's the same process either way.
It looks like they go by site code and site name, Kevin.
Okay, so we'll call that then, instead of branch number, we'll call it site. So in this email, we have both the site name, the client ticket number, and the site number. All those are automatically going to be referenced. Okay, so in this email, it's going to say the job description. It's going to say what was completed today, what remaining issues there are, and it'll have a link to the portal. So this is for the checkout version of this. He mentioned that we want to have one for this particular customer for when a ticket is created, the exact same process. I'll show you that in a second. The only remaining thing you have to do is change this to 0 and change this to HTML, which it already is. And don't forget, each one of these steps is going to be in the instructions in the wiki. Okay, click save, and we're done. Now, the only thing that you might have to do that's not here already done is if this is the first automatic message that this customer receives. So if they don't receive one when it's created or when a guy arrives on site or when a guy finishes, you might have to set up a workflow recipient. And the way that you can tell if you have to do that is edit the message, click one of these magnifying glasses, and if you don't see their domain in here, whatever the company is, if you don't see their domain, then you need to set them up as a workflow recipient, which is very easy to do. We go back to our original field point screen. Oops, I don't typo there, sorry. Workflow recipient. And here we are. You said this was for RealMex, Nick?
Yeah, RealMex, and it's just going to be for the people who entered it, like the TC. So I don't know how you set that up.
Just like anything else, we recommend you start by using an example of one that works, which in this case is dental care, and let's just copy that and create the new one. So we're going to create a new workflow recipient, and we're going to copy everything from the previous one. We'll change the stuff that obviously needs to change in a second, but just copy it exactly how it is. And last is their email address. Nick, you know their email address?
Yeah, it's going to be for the person who entered the ticket, so it's going to differ every single time. Are you able to set it up like that?
Sure. Let's just say hypothetically right now, though, it was for a help desk email or something, we would enter help desk at whatever it is. What you're describing is actually a little bit easier. Okay, so in order to do what he's talking about, you can copy any of the existing ones. Each one of these steps is in the wiki, step by step, so don't worry, we're going a little fast, I know. There we go, and instead of searching for checkout like we did before, search for entered, oops. Search for entered, and there you go. And we would just take one of these and copy it exactly how it is. That's it. The instructions along with this video will be in there. The 3 times that you might set one of these up are when a call is entered, when a technician checks in, and when a technician checks out. Those are really the 3 situations. The most common one, or the most common ones, are actually the first and the third. Very few want them on check-in. Several want them when a ticket's created. They want to know who requested service, and when the tech checks out, they want to know what was done about there at the site. But the process is the exact same. We literally just copy, and then we make the small edits where we need to. But step-by-step for the checkout is going to be in the wiki in a second, and I will write up the same instructions for the call entered as well. So just follow step-by-step. We're going to go ahead and stop the recording right now, but if anybody has any questions, you're always welcome to call 661.